Alright everyone, it is Finn here and welcome to my Afcon 2025 group stage prediction video because the time has finally arrived as the tournament is less than a month away now. Honestly, it's my favorite international tournament. Maybe that's also because South Africa, for once, might actually be able to compete for the trophy.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
But of course, we'll jump into that as the video goes on. But you guys know the drill. Let me know in the comment section down below who you'll be supporting throughout this tournament. And let me know some of your predictions as well. But of course, we do have 6 groups to talk about, 4 teams per group. If you guys don't know the format, before we jump into things, the top 2 in every group qualify for the next stage. So of course, I am going to make a lot of people very upset in today's video. But deal with it. But starting off with Group A, we've got the hosts Morocco, Zambia, Comoros, Mali. What an insane group this is. Of course, Morocco would be the favorites for this group, and you know what, I'm going to say it right away. I do predict them to win this group. They've got no excuses in terms of defensive and attacking ability, absolutely lethal. We know they haven't quite delivered when it comes to the Afcon stage, but of course, everyone will reference that 2022 World Cup, going all the way to the semi-final. But looking at the stars throughout their team, you cannot deny that they should still do the job here. Saying that though, in terms of second place, I have to go for Mali. They were undefeated in the qualifiers. I do feel like a lot of people still kind of underestimate them. And in terms of third place, I'm going to go for Zambia. They only lost 1 game in the qualifiers and even topped the likes of Ivory Coast, who won the last African Cup of Nations. So once again, between those 3 teams, I mean, honestly, any of them could get top 2. And Comoros, kind of due to process of elimination, dead last. Although I do think they could get a draw here or there that could really turn the tables a tiny bit. Group B could have some really interesting turnouts here. Obviously, a lot of people would favor Egypt to win this group. But to be honest, I'm not just saying this as a South African. I do think Bafana could give Egypt a real run for their money.
Don't give me hope.
I do think just because Egypt are the most successful in the continent's history, winning 7 Afcons before, the fact that they've got Premier League players like Mo Salah and Omar Mamouche, who's Omar Mamouche. I do think a lot of people kind of look at the big names and assume that they are the better team, but to be honest with you, I do think there is a resilience when it comes to South Africa. Now, yes, we have seen them in the past. Obviously, Zimbabwe also in this group. They drew to them and almost missed out on World Cup qualifiers, but South Africa at the end of the day is a very resilient team, and under Hugo Bruce, I can find that they're really defensively resilient, and on the attacking front, they have a lot to offer. So between those 2 teams, I'm going to go for my first upset here, and it's going to upset a lot of people, but I genuinely think South Africa could end up winning this group. I mean, as I said, this is the first time in my lifetime where they have really competed for competitions. I mean, if you look at 2 Afcons ago, Egypt reaching the final of the competition, and South Africa not really being able to qualify for tournaments then, the tables have turned completely, and I'm backing my nation. I'm going to put Egypt in second place. In terms of Angola and Zimbabwe, I'm probably going for Angola in third, and Zimbabwe, unfortunately, due to process of elimination, dead last, although I do think they could get a draw here or there that could upset everything. In Group C, we've got Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania. Now, a lot of people obviously would favor Nigeria due to having big names absolutely everywhere throughout their team, but I honestly think Tunisia could also do really well here. I think they're defensively a bit more solid than Nigeria. I think they've got the ability to upset, and as we saw in World Cup qualifications, Nigeria aren't necessarily the most consistent team out there. Obviously, getting knocked out in the playoffs, it wasn't the best qualification process from them. I do think Tunisia could potentially upset here, but at the end of the day, it is the Super Eagles. I still think they've got it within them. I'm going to go for them in first. I'm going to go for Tunisia in second place. I'm probably going to go for Uganda in third, and then Tanzania last place, just because attacking-wise, they don't always show up. Next up, we've got Group D, another group that potentially could upset here. We've got the likes of Senegal versus the DRC, who seem to play each other 5 times a year at this point, Benin and Botswana. Now, I genuinely think the DRC have potential to really cause an upset here. They've got so many stars throughout their team. Obviously, Wisa in attack. We've got a bunch of the Sunderland boys there, Twanzebe and Wan-Bissaka also joining the defense as well.
He was special.
Really improving it, in my opinion. I genuinely think the DRC have the ability to impress here. Obviously, we saw in the World Cup qualifiers how brilliant they were. Obviously, they still have potential to qualify for the tournament. I think the DRC could impress here, but I still have to go for Senegal. It was only 2 tournaments ago where they won the competition. You look at literally every player throughout their squad, and they are European quality. They are playing in a very top league. Obviously, the aging boys as well with Edouard Mendy, Koulibaly, Sadio Mane, all playing in Saudi Arabia. They've still got that quality in there for at least one, maybe two more tournaments. At the end of the day, although DRC could impress here, I still think it would be very silly not to go for Senegal. Well, looking at the last two places, I think Benin will probably just miss out there, and I think Botswana will be last place. Now, jumping into our second last group, we've got Group E, and honestly, another group that could hold a few surprises. We've got Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, Sudan. Now, I do think the first three that I mentioned will probably be the ones competing for the top two. Unfortunately, I think Sudan will end last due to process of elimination.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
But in terms of the group favorites being Algeria, I probably think they'll end up taking it. I mean, you just look at them when it comes to qualifiers, they normally do tremendously well. Now, no, they didn't do well in the last Afcon, but saying that it was a tournament that had a lot of upsets, and a lot of the top nations didn't actually do well and got knocked out early.
It's part of the game, innit?
But looking at the team as a whole, once again, like Senegal, they've got a few older players such as Riyad Mahrez, but he still has that quality to do well. They've obviously got that Wolfsburg striker, who I think will also do very well. Ait Nouri in defence for Manchester City. Once again, I'm still upset he didn't join Manchester United. At the end of the day, it is still a very high quality team that I do predict could do very well. Obviously, they've now got Zidane in the mix. No, not that Zidane. He probably won't play any minutes. But at the end of the day, I do think this Algeria team still has enough quality to go through. In terms of second place, I'm going for Burkina Faso. Same reason, a lot of quality, the ability to upset. With Equatorial Guinea in third place, because they did do well in the last tournament. I remember that legendary run from Golden Boot winner Emiliano Nsu, once again, top quality player. But I do think that Burkina Faso team has a bit more quality to pull them through. Now, jumping into our final group, this might be the group of death. We've got Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Gabon, Mozambique.
Perfect.
This is a group that could seriously cause a few upsets. I've said that about quite a few groups, but that just kind of shows where the quality of African football is at the moment. Obviously, looking at Cameroon, not calling Andre Onana up for this tournament is a major call, saying that he always kind of has problems with the national team. He always chooses not to play. He pulls out of the squad. He has fights with the managers. So, you know what? Maybe Cameroon could do well here. We never know. But in terms of the group winners, once again, I probably have to go for Ivory Coast, the current champions of the competition. Maybe they performed well last time around because it was their home crowd. I could be tremendously wrong here, but I still think they have the quality to pull through. And as they are the most recent winners, I am going to go for them. Looking at Cameroon, obviously Brian Mbeumo doing really, really well for them in terms of the attacking front. They've got Baleba. They've got a lot of other quality throughout. But I'm going to go for another upset here, and I'm going for Gabon there. We look at the likes of Bouanga and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as an attacking duo. They were terrifying, to be honest, in terms of qualifiers. They really do look good up front together, and as a whole, I do think the team has the ability to upset. And yeah, that's going to upset a few people, but I'm putting Cameroon in third place, and Mozambique could get a few draws, but I'm going last. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my Afcon 2025 group stage predictions. Once again, I could be tremendously wrong, but let me know in the comment section down below. Why did I say that like that? Let me know in the comment section down below what kind of changes you would make. Of course, do like and subscribe for regular African football content, along with a bunch of other stuff. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Finn, FYNN, cheers.